Contrary to many other data center providers, we do a lot of things by ourselves. Nowadays we use 3D printers to create those by ourselves. So even those things are made in-house nowadays.
And it's even branded Hetzner, and it costs less.
Exactly. So sometimes being green is also very cost effective.
Yeah. So hello everyone, I'm with Lenz from Hetzner. We're going to show a bit what Hetzner does. So as you know, it's the server provider for LROB, and I'm very happy with them. So I want to share with you all the good things at Hetzner. So Lenz, can you maybe tell us about the custom-made servers first?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as you said, we are a hosting provider, so we have both dedicated and virtual services you can rent from us. And contrary to many other data center providers, we do a lot of things by ourselves. So we manage and maintain our own buildings, we maintain our own rack space, we have custom design for the hardware, which allows us to maybe be a bit unconventional in the design, but it helps us to make product very cheap for our customers. Because they save energy and we save a lot of investment cost because we are able to really create very custom-made servers that only contain the components that are really necessary for the service.
Yeah, and something quite unusual as well. You told me there were manufacturing places in the data centers for custom-made racks and stuff like that.
That's correct. So we have dedicated buildings where really hands-on hardware manufacturing takes place, where people build racks, the sheet metal work basically, because those custom designs are not able to, you cannot buy them anywhere else. Picture in the back maybe.
Yeah.
But this is,
we can have a look.
This is an example of how the racks look like, where you have, those are the servers. This is kind of the cold air where the cold air comes up.
Yeah.
And this is the rear where the hot air exits. And this is under construction, so usually all of those open spaces will be shielded so the hot air can only leave through the designated points of the ventilation.
But it's awesome, and you have a few regular rack as well, like these ones.
Yes, we have both co-location space for customers, which is classic 19-inch racks. But some of our products also use 19-inch. But this is really not the majority. Most of them are our own designs.
I see. Don't hesitate to speak very loud because it's so noisy.
Yeah.
I hope we can hear you well. Sorry. Maybe we can show a real rack over here.
We brought some demo hardware.
So first maybe one server.
It's an open design. We call it the pizza plate because it looks like something we can serve a pizza on.
Yeah, you can almost hold it with your hand like a pizza.
We use a lot of consumer hardware, which is a bit cheaper to purchase but still powerful enough. Other custom designs like the power supplies we get only with necessary cables, so this allows us to save some material here. Everything that the operator needs to replace the system needs to do is really on the front, so there's no having to grab behind the scenes.
And also yesterday you told me that you even have some custom-made motherboards somehow. You actually remove parts that you don't need.
We ask the manufacturers to leave out a few components that we simply don't need, and then we have a custom buyer so the system boots up properly even if those components are missing.
Yeah.
Again, saving some energy, saving some money, makes it more straightforward.
Which is basically only possible because you have so much volume.
Exactly.
So you save useless components, so better green saving. You save energy because those components are not using power for no reason, and less failure as well.
The design is higher, so we don't have that much of a high density where you need to force the energy with very small and loud fans through the components.
Yeah, as we can see, usually servers have very tiny fans, like, I don't know, 4 centimeters or something like that.
They're very noisy.
Here we have an 8 centimeters fan, only one fan per rack, and that's enough.
Right.
And you have a duct
We have
well.
custom covers that we put on top that help to force the airflow through the right components that actually need to be cooled.
Sure.
This is an older design. Nowadays we use 3D printers to create those by ourselves, so even those things are made in-house nowadays.
And it's even branded Hetzner.
Yeah, there's an inventory number and everything, so this is now part of our stock and pool that we use when we assemble the components together. So we have our own assembly lines where the motherboards and the cases are being assembled together.
Okay, and this one is a GPU server, by the way.
Yes, this is a GPU server, so we have multiple different kinds of servers that you can get from us, including some that have NVIDIA cards on top if you need to do some heavy crunching of data.
Awesome.
Another custom component that might be interesting is this thing here. This is called
Oh, yeah.
setter.
Yeah,
the thing here. And it allows a customer to basically turn on and turn off their servers remotely or reset them if necessary. Because we can't get them in our data center to press the button, right? They might be somewhere around the globe.
Sure.
This way they can do it by themselves.
I think the solution is very smart. Actually, I always wondered how it was done.
Yeah.
So you actually custom made it because it doesn't exist.
It's again the hardware department that we have. They can create PCBs. Each of our nodes has such a connection, and the concentrator, it's basically a Raspberry Pi in a case that connects all the connections. So it's
I really like that. It's very low-tech, simple stuff, but efficient.
Pragmatic is how I would call it.
Yeah, it's kind of the KISS model. Keep it simple, stupid. Stupid, simple. I don't know. I always make the order. So simple to understand, efficient, reliable.
Right. And that even includes the buildings that we build for our data systems. They have a tilted roof that allows the hot air to rise up and then exit to the top of the highest part. And therefore the hot air creates a natural drag. So again, we don't need to force the air with ventilation. It floats by itself. So if you go into our data centers, they are surprisingly silent because of the much larger fans and much warmer than you probably expect from other data centers.
And all this allows you to have one of the best PUEs, 1.12 I believe for Falkenstein data center, which is the one we mainly use at Elrob, by the way. I saw just no other competitor in France having such great PUEs. So
that's really one advantage for us because we need to spend less electricity on cooling. So therefore prices can be lower, and the energy that we use is generated by water power plants. We have special contracts with some water plants that create the electricity for us.
So 100% green energy, right?
This is also very important for us.
Yeah, so somehow Hetzner came to combine greener data centers and it costs less.
Exactly.
So
sometimes being green is also very cost efficient.
Yeah, it's a miracle. And so there we have an actual rack. What can we say about this?
A demo rack basically where we showcase some of the different kind of service that we have in our data centers. On top of here is the storage server, so you have a special rack full with hard disks.
12 drives. In like 2U environment, somehow 2U, I don't know because it's custom made, so could be any size.
We have an ARM64 server down here, so we also, in addition to Intel and AMD, we also have ARM CPUs in our portfolio. And honestly, I don't know what the others are because I'm not really the hardware guy. So
I've tried the ARM CPUs. They are pretty strong. So I believe you're the cloud guy.
Yes, so I work for Hetzner Cloud.
So you work with the cloud offers, and recently, maybe it was 2 years ago, you deployed ARM-based servers, which are very energy efficient, even more, and pretty strong actually.
And very powerful.
So not all software is ARM64 compatible, but it's getting more and more compatible. It's getting easier to make it work.
Most of the Linux distributions have an ARM64 built, and all the software that you would expect has been compiled and built. So it's usually just proprietary software where you get binary-only releases that sometimes skip the ARM64 platform. But it's getting more and more popular. So I haven't really seen any difficulties running the same stack on an ARM64.
The pricing is awesome on these VPSs, build hourly. So if you just need to test something out, you can just get for a few hours your machine. It won't cost much to run tests, to try out maybe sometimes bigger stuff. It's not challenging, and even monthly the price is very reasonable, especially considering the performance that you get. So I'm really so impressed. I can only say good things about you.
It empowers you to really start with very little investment. If you have an idea, something that needs servers to be connected to the internet, just take one of our cloud instances, get started, and it's easy to scale them up if you realize that, you're getting attraction, you're interested, you can scale up your instances on the fly to a bigger instance if you need more CPU or more RAM.
Yeah, upgrades are very easy as well. Also, you have the choice, if I remember correctly, to not upgrade the disk drives. so that you can also downgrade.
Correct.
Which is pretty rare to have. I've never seen that anywhere else. So
Some
good job on
customers
this
do this
as
as
well.
well. If they have a workload that is more temporary,
Yeah.
they scale the instance, crunch whatever they need to do, then scale it back to save costs.
It's awesome, man. All that with some of the greatest prices on the market. Maybe we can show off the little screen over there. So can we actually see it? Yeah.
Otherwise,
Can
our
you-
website hetzner.com, and you can just go there and see the prices.
Yeah.
It's very transparent.
So yeah, these are some comparisons with various cases.
In
most of them, Hetzner is the most affordable. So you can just pause the video if you want to see more. This one is probably the most impressive one. So yeah.
The key is really that you can start a server less than €5 per month and have a full running Linux operating system that we can use for you.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even need more for a DNS server, for example. One CPU core could be enough. And those are pretty decent CPU cores. Also with, I think it's full NVMe, right? Because the storage is so fast as well.
Correct.
Network is beyond gigabit, so your
Customers usually are very satisfied with the performance that they get from us, especially considering the prices.
yeah. So I think that we'll wrap it up. So no segue to a sponsor here. We're not Linus Tech Tips. And I hope you had a nice time discovering Hetzner. Thank you very much, Lenz, for having me. And see you soon. Bye bye.